guys. Great to be back in the Coliseum. Something special about every time that you walk in this place. It kind of makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck, and that's what I want the kids to feel, is every time that they walk in here, they turn it up a notch, that they represent what this place is about, which is history, tradition, and the men that came before them. And whether it's practicing or playing, we want that representation. I thought they did a terrific job today, competing at a very high level. It was great to get the pads back on. It's really important for us to be able to teach the physicality of the game, whether it was starting with our angle tackle drill, going to a physical team run period, or they're then doing a little bit of scrimmage and some situational football there at the end, whether it was move the ball, bringing guys to the ground for ball security, tackling purposes, and then tight red zone, which was an emphasis there at the end of the end. Very important lessons learned, I thought, especially from the quarterback position. As we moved that ball down the field offensively, I felt a real good fluidity by the offense when you put it down to -20 and you're driving down there. And really what stood out to me is the playmakers that are around and really teaching the quarterbacks that between the wideouts, the tight ends, the running backs, you have plenty of weapons around you. Get it to your playmakers. Don't make the critical errors. And that's one of the things you saw that as they drove it down was there was no critical errors. They found the open man. They got it to him. I was proud of both quarterbacks and getting it in the end zone. Defensively, I thought the highlight of the day is when we put the ball on the 10-yard line 4 times and they stopped the offense 3 out of the 4 times. In spring, when we put it down and we challenged them and we ran power 3 times, we would make the 10 yards offensively. They turned it back today, and you could see the confidence building in them. So it was a major statement by them to be able to do that. Very proud of that. Tomorrow we'll take off. We'll get rested. We'll get a couple of the dings out of us, and then come back the next day for a 2-a-day, a light morning practice with a scrimmage-type atmosphere in the afternoon. Injuries today. Vi, you saw, left today kind of with a shoulder stinger, a little bit of weakness there. We didn't want to really do anything to hurt it, so we pulled him. We'll check Plattenberg out for concussion-like syndromes. Rasheem had an elbow and a tricep, kind of a bruise. We'll see how that is. And I know everybody held their breath with Juju. Little dislocated pinky, popped it back in, and he was ready to go again, but we kind of called it for him. With that, any questions that you have, I'll answer for you. Yeah, Chad we pulled. He's got, hardly can pronounce it, plantar fasciitis, which is very sore. It's something that it's not non-surgical, it just requires rest. So we pulled him today. We got an off day tomorrow. We'll see where it is the following day, but it had got to a point where it was too sore. It's not willing to push any further. We wanted to give him a day rest.
Khalil out of the concussion protocol now?
No, he's still in it. He's still in it. Yeah, his next test will come up in a couple days. They test every so often, and then we'll see where he's at. But he's still in that concussion protocol.
Your reaction to the angle tackling to get it started? What did you think when you were watching that?
To be able to have Clancy teach it to the entire team, show pass grades. We showed T.J. McDonald and Nikel Roby, actually doing that 4 years ago, and then for them to come out here in every group, 4 groups at a time, and really you could feel the sense of competition and wanting to do it right. And I think that's part of the game. You hold your breath as a coach. There's a fine line between being stupid and having to teach the physicality and the technique of tackling. Today, you got to push through, and that's what we did. Whether it was our individual drills or whether it was the scrimmage at the end, you have to do that, and you say a prayer at night, and hopefully come out good. And today we came out good.
Are you hoping to get Noah back anytime soon?
Gosh, I hope so. I hope so. What a big, talented individual. Just, until that back is right. I know we MRI'd it today just to double check to see where it's at. We'll get some results back, trying to continue to strengthen the core, but I'm hoping to have him back maybe in a week or so. But until he can functionally move and we're making sure we're not hurting him, I'm not taking a chance. I'm not risking hurting the kid.
Cam said he's really chomping at the bit to get more reps. It's tough to tell a kid like that to stand on the sideline.
It's like caging a damn lion. I swear to God. It's between him and Juju. I had to hide Juju's helmet yesterday, and Cam is. I appreciate Cam because one of his competitiveness and wanting to be out there, but two, I really appreciate how he's handling, listening to the doctors and doing exactly what they say. And he is progressing. Today was the first time he got the opportunity to tackle, and he went through our angle tackle drill. That was the plan. See how he was at the break, and then give him a little bit of team, some real live action and team, and it went through fine. So we'll progress to even more the next day. Remember, the end goal is to have him ready by the first game, and we don't play today. So doctors are a lot smarter than I am. I know first down and points. They know how to get people healthy, so I'm going to listen to them.
Are you like Damian Mama on that power right play yesterday?
Oh man!
Were there anybody that stood out today to you with?
Yeah, I tell you, really, I liked the runners today. 25 and 28, I thought ran the ball with a physicality, and to see even said, come in there and get some really good runs was good. I appreciate also the value of two quality centers right now that are functioning really well when they're in there. So I would say, I'd have to say the centers and the two runners. You haven't seen a lot of balls over the head, a lot of missed assignments. Those guys are making the right calls, and they're getting the balls to the quarterback. So they're doing their job.
How was the?
Not my baby, but that's something that. That's something that you have to have. It was good. We'll bring the Pac-12 officials out. Really appreciate them for being out here just to get the reality of where you're at as far as being on sides, a young kid lining up off sides on field goal, all of a sudden defensive lineman off sides on a 2 count. Those are things that you got to be able to see, and kids got to learn from. So we're going to do that 5-6 times in this camp just so they know the reality of it, and we can teach off tape from it.
You've talked a lot about the physicality, making sure you want to establish that. When do you know, if it's worked or the team is better in that?
Yeah, usually when you play that game. You go against your own guys and you feel really good, but until you actually step foot on the field with, I think, which is going to be a very physical football team in Alabama, we'll be able to address where we're at. What I appreciate right now is their physicality and their competitiveness and wanting to be physical. You don't see a lot of softness out here right now, but just to be honest with you, Scott, you never know until you get to that first game exactly where you're at.
Let's do one more.
Good.
You mentioned Alabama being a physical team. Is it difficult to kind of replicate that physicality in practice without crossing a line? Would you feel, keeping the guys healthy?
That's what I said earlier. I mean, there's some times, and I learned it from my dad. I mean, you have to look the other way and just know that you have to push that part of the game. That's what football is, and it's a lot of times based on how healthy you are as a team and what your team needs. Today our team needed to learn how to angle tackle and get guys on the ground. They needed to know what it feels like to be on the 10-yard line and have to push an offense back. Those are things that are going to help you. And like I said, you say a prayer at night and you pray for the safety of the kids and hope you come out healthy. And today we did. All right, guys, thanks so much.